Welcome to Quantumly Kinky with Veda, where we talk about sex, Chinese medicine, and character development for the multidimensional you.
Episode 22, AI won't save us. Staying turned on in the age of artificial intelligence. Welcome back to Quantumly Kinky, where our body is the motherboard, our pleasure is the password, and our erotic sovereignty is non-negotiable. I am your host, Sarah Veda, and today we're stepping into one of the most important conversations of our current time. Will AI take over? Can it disconnect us from what really matters? And how do we stay soul-led and erotically awake in a world that's getting more digital by the second? I'm not here to scare us. I'm here to help us stay turned on, because that is our power source, and no machine can ever replicate that. So first, let's talk about how technology reflects consciousness. And let's start by breaking the myth of the evil machine. I don't think AI is inherently bad. I feel that it's a mirror, and it reflects the code of the ones who create and train it. Like Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. I definitely feel that this applies to AI, because if we build it from unconscious trauma, scarcity, or dominance, it's going to replicate those patterns at scale. But what if we build it from embodied awareness, creative pleasure, and truth? Maybe it can become an amplifier of evolution. So instead of fearing it, maybe let's infuse it with our frequency. We don't have to believe in AI to influence it. Our energy, when clear and coherent, writes reality in ways that machines still cannot grasp. And that is the world of frequencies. With that being said, I feel it's important to note that disembodiment is the real risk here. We've all felt it. The endless scroll that floods our mind but empties our body. The binge watch that leaves our skin untouched. And the dopamine hit that fades faster than it lands. That blank stare. That tight chest. That subtle ache of something missing. This is disembodiment. And this is the real risk. Maybe not AI itself, but the subtle seduction to leave your flesh behind. To trade sensation for stimulation. To surrender our pulse to a perfectly engineered, perfectly hollow high. Clarissa Estes wrote, "The body is a sensor. It is the instrument of the soul." But in the age of optimization, we are basically trained to ignore that sensor. To flatten nuance, to silence our wildness in favor of the algorithm, to let code replace instinct. But AI can mimic hunger, but it cannot taste. It can simulate sex, but it cannot climax. It can generate millions of versions of love, but it doesn't have a heart to break. Our body, our human earthly body, is still the most advanced interface on Earth. And our pleasure, well, that's the navigation system. Our grief is sacred data. Our breath is a reboot. So every time that we drop into sensation, into breath, into the sweet hum of being fully alive, we are interrupting the system, writing a new script, and proving that aliveness is not a relic of the past. It's our present technology. And I think this is how we reclaim erotic sovereignty, by refusing to numb, by choosing to feel, and by staying fiercely, deliciously embodied. Let's take a deep breath together. I want us to look at our energetic sovereignty as our firewall. So in the Veda method, scalar resonance and erotic coherence, they aren't just abstract concepts that I talk about, but they are the blueprint. And this is not performance spirituality or poetic fluff. This is bioenergetic defense. This is architecture for staying human in a world that's getting less so by the hour. Because when our system is coherent, when our erotic pulse is aligned with our core truths, we create a vibrational shield. And in that shield, distortion cannot latch on. Propaganda slips right off. We become unreadable to manipulation because we are reading our own signal loud and clear. AI might be able to scan our search history, but it can't feel the raw shiver of our breath when we're fully in our body. It might be able to scrape our data, but it can't replicate what we transmit when we're turned on by truth. And this is what I mean by erotic coherence. Our arousal, real, embodied, soul-lit arousal, is like a cryptographic signature. It codes our field in fractals that AI simply can't trace. Because that kind of aliveness, that kind of embodiment, AI doesn't compute it. You see, when we're rooted in joy, nourished by sensation, and wide open to our own power, and not in performative pleasure way, but in sovereign turn on, we enter a scalar bandwidth that machines cannot hack. So this isn't just about being sexy, it's about being sovereign. That's our scalar firewall. It's not made of metal and it's not made of code. It's made of coherence. It's made of devotion to our aliveness. And when we are in this state, we don't just protect our signal, but we broadcast it with precision. We ripple. We recalibrate the field around us. So stay in the erotic, coherent frequency. Stay in your body and stay in your truths that cannot be scraped, predicted, or sold. And I want us to remember, the outcome is not fixed. We live in a world where free will is the ultimate rule on planet Earth. We are not fixed, and we are not simply a point in a plot line. There is no master script with our fate locked in. Timelines shift with every breath, every turn of the body, every yes to what feels alive, every fuck no to what doesn't. We are the author. We are the algorithm. And we are the wild card. Rainer Rilke reminds us, the future enters into us in order to transform itself in us long before it happens. That means the version of you who is more free, more fearless, more turned on, she already lives inside you, whispering, waiting, coding the path forward. And in the age of AI, you are not just a node. You are the frequency, the erotic signature that no machine can mimic. So stay unpredictable, stay luscious, stay sovereign in the signal that you emit. The field is listening and the future is listening, and it's being shaped by our current charge. So let's end with a simple daily practice to reinforce our energetic sovereignty. I call it the erotic firewall activation. There are 5 steps to it. The first step, sit or lie down in a really comfortable, cozy place. And I want you to place one hand just below your belly button on Ren 6 and one on your heart, Ren 17. Breathe in deeply through the nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2 and exhale slowly for 6 counts. Repeat this breath pattern for 2 minutes. Inhale through the nose for 4, hold for 2, and exhale slowly for 6. And on the inhale, whisper inwardly, I am the signal. On the exhale, I am the source. And I want you to visualize golden threads weaving throughout your body, each breath lighting up a circuit within you, in your spine, your pelvic area, your heart. These are your original technologies. And I want us to seal the practice by pressing our lips together gently and saying aloud, my field is sacred. My pleasure is sovereign. I cannot be programmed. And that's it. That's your firewall. So use it daily, because in this age of artificial intelligence, the most radical thing that we can do is to stay deeply human, to feel more, to breathe slower, to love. Because every time that you choose sensation over stimulation, every time you turn on instead of tuning out, you become a beacon that no algorithm can replicate. And here's the truth. AI can compute patterns, sure, but it can't smell the rain. It can't feel goosebumps. It doesn't cry at a song that reminds it of someone it once loved. And it certainly can't kiss someone so slowly that the whole universe disappears. Only you can do that. So let's not let our body become background noise. Let's not outsource our inner knowing to machines. Because we aren't here on earth just to be efficient. We are here to be ecstatically in love with life. So stay in your erotic pulse and stay in the paradox. Stay so exquisitely alive that no synthetic signal can ever override your truth. Because when you're turned on, truly turned on, you're not just resisting the machine, you're reprogramming the future.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of Quantumly Kinky with Veda. Stay turned on. Till next time.